Hey, what is going on, guys? This is SMAB Reviews, and today I'm going to take a look at the new album from Coldplay titled Everyday Life. I have a ton of thoughts on this thing, and that's kind of why this review took so long. I don't like to, I like to be prompt. I understand I want to take my time and think out my thoughts, but I do like to be prompt and, not put things off. This album threw me for a loop. I'm a huge fan of Coldplay. I'll say that up front. I love Coldplay. I don't really think they have a bad album. There is one album I'm not a huge fan of, and I may talk about it at some point. We'll see. Don't get your hopes up. um, but ultimately, I'm a huge Coldplay fan. I really love Coldplay. So I was super stoked for this album. And listening to it, it's not what I expected. I mean, we have songs like what's it even called? What's the acronym supposed to be? WOTP, or POTP. So Wonder of the World, Power of the People. Right? I had to look. Like that's a demo. It's a demo of a song, and like apparently in the liner notes of the album, which is still coming for me, it says that the lyrics aren't finished for this song. It's a demo. And you have a couple tracks like that. Like there's a couple tracks that just kind of sound, unfinished. Um, Old Friends kind of sounds like that, and even like Broken just kind of sounds like it was the idea of a song. But this is what they decided to release, and none of it's really sonically like something they've done before. I don't say that like none of these songs would fit in anywhere else because I hear a lot of Head Full of Dreams and Ghost Stories sounds. A lot of that really slow, melancholic synthesizer kind of thing, along with a lot of the very bright synthesizers that they had. I hear a lot of that, but that's not really a good description because there's also just a lot of influence from a lot of different cultures of music. It's not super heavy or profound in a lot of instances. I don't think that marketing this as like a world album, um, world music kind of album. It's not an apt thing to consider it. I just don't see that being the right thing to call it. But there definitely is influences from the gospelness of Broken, which I guess isn't really worldly, but like there definitely are songs that do take on a lot of different sounds. Like Arabesque doesn't really sound very westerny. Um, it's got a lot of different stuff thrown at it. Um, and that being said, I'm almost speechless with how much I love this thing. I think I've been kind of vague on whether I even really like it for you guys. Yeah, I love it. I don't. I know a lot of people won't agree, and that's fine. I'm not here to agree with everybody. It may be my favorite Coldplay album. It may be their best album yet, and I really strongly could defend that. Viva La Vida, great album. Probably my second favorite. I love it. I love it so much. It's so perfect. Um, but this album somehow just improves on it. Because the brokenness of some of these songs, how they sound like demos, how they seem unfinished, it really complements this overall theme of everyday life. So, in interviews, they've said that they wanted this album to bridge cultures, to bridge times, like time periods. And with the title Everyday Life, I mean, it's obviously supposed to be representative of just what is going on every day. There's broken moments, there's incredibly happy, joyous, fun times. And it can be a roller coaster ride. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it's super incoherent. And I totally agree. They are absolutely right. And that is a totally legit complaint for this album. That being said, it's also kind of how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be from snapshots of different times, different countries, and different, like in your own day. Like, is your own day cohesive every day? I mean, I'll wake up with a plan in mind. plan to go to class, work, this, that. But then something will throw a wrench in it, and that's how life works. And I think it's perfect that it doesn't go like that. There's also this idea of sunset and sunrise, where the sunrise, the first disc, is like problems, and then the second disc is solutions, I guess is what they said. I don't agree with that. I don't feel like the second disc is necessarily solutions. That being said, it's really good still. It works, and it I don't necessarily know the sunrise and sunset thing, but I'm not really gonna judge it on that, because just because they said it's based on that, it doesn't really like hinder my enjoyment of the album. I just don't really get it. And watching the live Jordan performances that they did, the first time they've ever played in that part of the world, I don't exactly know where the closest place is after that, but they said it's the only time that they've ever played there. And those performances were beautiful. Like, they genuinely brought a tear to my eye. And listening to this album, it just does. It's moving and passionate. It's so well crafted. Yeah, some of it's a little dorky. Like, I'm not gonna say Old Friends isn't dorky, but it's something about how sincere Chris Martin is in the delivery, and just how genuine it feels. I just can't. The cynic in me just kind of ignores it, and I definitely can be a cynic with being a critic and just being me. It's just natural. I'm naturally a cynic. Not necessarily. I'm not naturally a cynic, but it's easy for me to do. Um, but this album just breaks through that, and I think it's just I really do get speechless with this album. It's it it's so interesting to me, and I really like that the album concludes on two excellent songs: "Champion of the World" and "Everyday Life." "Champion of the World," they're the perfect ending songs. I think that like they're the perfect ending songs. At first, I was thinking like "Arabesque" would be a pretty cool ending song, like super big crescendo. There's so much there, but then I realized Champion of the World just it summarizes what we're trying to talk about. I mean, Champion of the World, it's these snapshots from different places, different times, and then here we are being champion of the world, and like being able to get through all that. And Everyday Life, it's just a beautiful song that musically is super interesting. One of my favorite songs just musically. And while it's another one of their typical like feel goody kind of songs, like I just like the gotta keep dancing when the lights go out. It's a really good lyric. It's a really good lyric. And it's really moving, and it just like it's one of these albums. This album is one of these albums that just gives me chills with how much I love it. It doesn't seem like an album that necessarily would have struck me quite so much. It's got the really cheesiness. It's got really disjointed parts, but it just works. Daddy is incredibly moving. Arabesque is incredible. The brass section on that song is mind blowing. It's an incredible song. I love it. Trouble in Town, one of the best songs about racial discrimination in other countries, and how why are we as a Western white country discriminating against people who don't even have a safe home to return to. Beautiful song. Then you have songs like Guns, which is it's a gun song. You know what it's going to be about, but it's catchy. It's fun. Orphans is an incredibly it kind of fits in with the Sky Full of Stars kind of sound. I think that's the song I want to compare it to, just because it's like a really dancey song, but it's really fun, and I love it a lot. Eco, I'm not gonna say I can pronounce that right. EKO, whatever that one is. It's got some like accents on it. I don't want to try to pronounce it wrong. So I'll admit I may not know it. Great song. Like, I do love Disc 1 more. I won't lie. Disc 1 is probably better, but Disc 2 still has a lot of good songs. Like Orphans, Eco, and Champion of the World, Everyday Life. Great 4 songs. And the rest, Cry, 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 Guns, Old Friends, and then the one in a different language. Great. I love them all. I seriously love this album, and I keep thinking about rating on this, and I don't think I want to give a rating on it. I really don't. This is something I'm too passionate about. Giving a real rating on it just doesn't seem right. And if I change my mind, if I think about it more, it'll be in the description. The rating's in the description. If it's not there, it's because I just don't feel like it's right. Because it's too political of a message, but too passionate. I feel too passionately about it. I feel like it's just not right for me to try to actually give it a number. Why would I? Um, this is a passionate project from them, and I just can't really give it. I qualified what I think. Why quantify it? You guys, if this doesn't make you want to hear it, then my rating's not going to change anything. Just know I love it a lot. Go check it out. I mean it. Go check it out. Thank you guys for watching. It means so much to me. I'm going to go listen to this album for like the 6th, 7th time. It's so good. I love it. Thank you guys. I love you guys. You all are awesome. I will see you guys later.